Today's video is the last of the Sainsbury's beers, well, the last that I'm probably going to buy. This is a Campfire Hazy IPA from Two Tribes. But what's it going to be like? Keep watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're reviewing this beer. This is from Two Tribes. It's called Campfire. It's a hazy IPA at 5.2% and it's available in Sainsbury's. I think this one actually is a £3 one. All the others are £3.50, but this one's a £3 one. So don't know much about Two Tribes. There's a bit of a blurb on the back that talks about drinking on campfires and blah, 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 all that sort of stuff, but nothing about the hops. So let's go in blind, crack it open, get it in a glass and see what it's all about. I have little expectations of this. I don't know why. I've not really heard of this brewery before. Obviously, Polly's is the one to beat, and I don't think any of the other ones are anywhere near it. So, but maybe it'll surprise me. I mean, the ABV's low. For an IPA, 5.2%. That is low. And beer in a glass. Well, we've got a hazy IPA. Well, we've got a hazy beer. Lots of carbonation. Looks a little bit on the fizzy side. A finger of loose white head. That's what I wanted to get out. And I'd say it's an orangey hazy beer, but we're not looking at, your custardy sort of beer. It's not that thick, but it is hazy. Let's see what the aroma's like. Yeah, I mean it smells like it smells like pale ale to me. Pineapple, citrus fruits like lemons, limes, a little bit of orange, satsuma sort of thing. Yeah, not dissimilar to all those sort of, it's not dissimilar in its aroma to the likes of Faith or Hazy Jane. It's that sort of thing, if you can think what they smell like, this is similar. Let's see what it tastes like. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, I don't know if I'm disappointed. My expectations were low, and basically this doesn't blow my expectations away. It's thin, it's light, it's watery in its mouthfeel. There's a lot more carbonation than you want from either a pale or an IPA. It's quite fizzy. Flavours wise, it's a little bit watery and thin, so the flavours are very light. Yeah, you've got a bit of lemon and maybe a little bit of pineapple. And that's about it. A little twang of orange maybe. But it's one of those sort of beers it just hasn't got much flavour to it. The mouthfeel lets you down there. I think there's quite a bit of pineapple actually. The pineapple's coming in. It's like Hazy Jane. It's like Hazy Jane, but I'd say it's not as good as a Hazy Jane. It's a bit thinner and a bit fizzier than a Hazy Jane. And it's not as good, nowhere near as good as a Faith. But it's along those sort of lines. It's not terrible in terms of it hasn't got any sort of strange aftertaste. It hasn't got like an artificial twang to it. But it's watery and thin, which really drags the flavours down. I think it wasn't as thin and wasn't as watery. You might be able to get some of that flavour and actually sort of be able to actually taste stuff. But with this, no, not at all. Pineapple, it's a little bit similar, but a badder version of that one. That Brewdog beer that I had probably 18 months, nearly 2 years ago, called Duopolis. I don't think they do it anymore. Well, I certainly don't do it in supermarkets anymore. And I quite liked it. It was in small cans. You bought it in 4-pack. It's got that flavour, but even that had a better body than this. If the body was amped up, I think you'd say, yeah, this is comparable with a Hazy Jane and comparable with Faith. But it's not, I don't think it's an IPA. I don't know how they work out calling these beers IPA at 5.2%. I just think it gets to a point now where these sort of beers they'll just go, we'll put Hazy IPA because people like IPAs more. But it isn't an IPA. It's just, I don't know how you can say it's an IPA. It's got no body and the ABV is too low for an IPA. So it's all right. It's drinkable. Again, it's one of those sort of beers that in the summer, it's hot. You just want something beery and not lager, but you want something a bit fruity. This would probably do the job. But, it's It's better than the By the Horns one, which was like a shandy. This is like a poor man's Faith or a poor man's Hazy Jane. And even at £3, I can't really recommend it. But let me know if you've had it. See what you think. It is juicy. It's pleasant, but it's just not good enough for me. It's just not good enough. I don't want to be a beer snob. It's not good enough. And when I think of the Pale Ale from Polly's, it's night and day, really is. And that's 50p more, really, for one can. But this is night and day. It's just not comparable. So, Campfire, Hazy IPA, hops unknown, I'd probably say maybe Citra, maybe Simcoe, maybe Eldorado, something like that. Maybe something old school like Columbus or Cascade, maybe. I don't know, US Cascade. Yeah, it's all right. It's a bit nondescript in terms of flavour, but yeah, let me know what you think if you've had it and how it compares. I think it's the second worst one, but let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for Campfire Hazy IPA from Two Tribes. Let's get straight into it. Starting with aroma. Appearance. Flavour. Value for money. I said £3. If you bought 4 of them, you'd get it for nine quid for 4. And finally, my overall experience. Type the scores up. Yeah, it's a 60s beer. It's I can't even remember. You know, we have so many good beers. I even forget what my own scoring is. So White Snakes in the 70s, Iron Maiden's in the 80s, Van Halen's in the 90s, 60s. The Bon Jovi of craft beer. That's what it is. So if you've had it, let me know. But I wouldn't recommend it. Get the Polly's instead. If it's still available. Last time I went into my Sainsbury's, they didn't have any of the Polly's. But if you still can get it, let me know and tell me where it is, because I should have bought more of it. So that's enough for today. That's the end of the supermarket beers. I mean, some new supermarket beers are coming in from Morrison, so that'll be the next supermarket beers I review on the channel. But until then, please like the video, subscribe, and until the next one, you know what you're going to do. Drink good craft beer and keep on rocking.